the Los Angeles Rams take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in one of the most exciting Sunday night games I've ever seen. The entire game took place essentially in the first quarter and a half, and then after that, they just were like, let's not play football anymore. This is a bit of a bummer. I like games to actually feel like there's some oomph behind them. I mean, the Rams were obviously in control of this game from the literal jump. Baker and the Bucs didn't seem like they had much juice going into it, and you had the one fluke interception by Baker, not really his fault, with the bobble that then was taken to the house. But then you're just like, okay, you can chalk that up to kind of a fluke. It's all right. You dug yourself a little bit of a hole. There's still plenty of time, clearly, energy. And Todd Bowles making a weird decision where he's like, let's go for it, on our own, 20 or whatever it was, on 4th and 2. And it's like, I don't know. You're really, potentially given, the game is still within reach. It's a steep hill to climb out, a steep hole to climb out of, or a steep hill, whatever the heck the saying is right now. I can't think of it. You still got to trust your defense. I know you don't want to punt. I know you want to score, but it's like, lick your wounds and kind of hit the reset button. And they were fortunate enough to just give up the field goal. And then, from that point on, I think it ended up only being after those touchdowns, right? Then it was just the field goals. And, obviously Baker goes down. And once Baker's not come back out, then you're like, well, this team really has no chance whatsoever. I always thought that the Bucs stock was a little inflated, and this video isn't going to be like a dunk on the Bucs and Baker video, but I just look at this actually more from the perspective of the Rams and what's the takeaway from this game, and truthfully not much considering how this game unfolded. Clearly the Rams are a top team, and so there's no contention there. There was no, or I should say, there was no tension there. There was nothing to really learn or gain. Everything came from the very beginning. They scored so easily, and there was really only the true 3 offensive touchdown drives with Stafford. The other one was obviously the pick 6, or let me just rip it away, and scoring the touchdown. And yeah, I mean, some really nice passes to Devontae, especially the one touchdown pass. 2 of them was really gorgeous. Puka had a clean game, 7 catches on 11 targets, 97 yards. The Todd Bowles defense right now is, whatever excuses you want to give, it's just not looking good, right? I mean, giving up 6 scores to the Buffalo Bills. And then you compare that to what the Texans did to the Buffalo Bills. And granted, the Texans obviously have the best defense in the NFL, a truly elite defense, but still. Again, what the Bucs were able to do against the Bills before as well, the Bills defense is not good, right? They got Davis Mills leading touchdown drives like he's Tom Brady out there. And then now when you go up against a significantly better defense, Tucker's not running all day, every day. And then again, before Baker got hurt, it's like he was hardly having this great game. And I know he got banged up and all that type of stuff, but there was hardly much for him to do. His best plays were him using his legs. He did have a really nice throw to Tez Johnson. That was a really nice throw. And I see that, and I'm like, all right, maybe there's a little juice here. Maybe we're going to have a little bit of a game right now. Hopefully it's not, again, the deficit isn't too deep to make something happen, because again, I assumed the Rams were going to be able to kind of really control this game. And then we just never really got the chance to even remotely find out. But like I said, the Rams were clearly in control of this game. Just really straightforward game, honestly. I mean, it's a good win for the Rams. And now, them inching closer and closer to getting the first round bye and home field advantage. And it's just, yeah, I mean, right now, I think when you're looking around the league, when we look at all these scores here, I got them right now. Okay. We got the Texans with Davis Mills beating the Bills. Okay. We got the Rams dominating the Buccaneers. We got the Colts and the Chiefs. The Colts should have won that game straight up. They blew that game, right? They had the win. They had the easy pick six, the fumble off of Mahomes and Hunt. Like they had it that game. Couldn't get it done. And looking at it from the Chiefs' perspective, it was like, dude, against Daniel Jones and this Colts team, you needed overtime. You needed a field goal to win the game in overtime. Bears and the Steelers, that game came down to the wire, weirdly enough, and that was against Mason Rudolph. It's like, okay. The Jets and the Ravens. Sorry, I skipped the Patriots and the Bengals. Patriots and the Bengals. Again, that game got a little weird, and you're like, Drake May throwing the pick six, then Flacco throwing a pick six, and you're just like, the Bengals are terrible. Their defense is awful, and the Patriots didn't just run away with it willy-nilly. And then the Jets and the Ravens, Lamar's just not looking right. He's just not. The Seahawks Titans, that game had a gap between it. They didn't really score some points until the end, so the Seahawks were in control of that game start to finish, very much like the Rams just kind of finished. The Packers and the Vikings, that game was never even remotely close. JJ McCarthy and that Vikings offense looks awful. No takeaways there. Lions and the Giants, if it wasn't for Gibbs, if it wasn't for their running back who had like nearly 300 total yards, the Lions don't beat the Giants. Jameis Winston out there throwing touchdowns, catching touchdowns. I mean, flea flickers and just literally a little bit of everything. A wild game, a 59-yard field goal to tie it. And then a one play, I think 69 or 66 yards touchdown in overtime for Gibbs. Like, just kind of crazy. Jacksonville Jaguars win that game. But Trevor Lawrence was like, I'm going to try my best to lose this game. He might get investigated after that game because of how ridiculous it was. I think it was three interceptions. Like, just insanity. Raiders and the Browns, they're not relevant. And neither are the Falcons and the Saints. And then the next relevant team is the Eagles and the Cowboys, right? The Eagles go up 21-0. They're dominant. They're unstoppable. And then they just were like, we can't score. And we can't run the ball. They literally could not run the ball. They had 30 yards rushing when you subtract Jalen Hurts' rushing yards. So I just look at this and I'm just like, this is the definition of a free-for-all season right now. Like, it is absolute mayhem. And these games now, unless you're a legitimate contender, unless you're a real contender in the playoffs, you got the quarterback, you got the coach, you got the good enough defense, whether it's great or good, as long as it's not just the Bengals defense, as long as you have a good enough O-line. Again, it doesn't have to be just a barrier, but just not like a huge liability. It's just like, it's just all going to come down to how do you guys play against each other right now. I mean, that's just what it really feels right now. It's just like, what's it all going to look like when you go toe-to-toe, when the Rams play the Eagles, when the Rams play the Seahawks again, when the Colts play the Patriots, when the Chiefs play the Patriots, when the Chiefs play, I guess I was going to say the Cowboys, but I'm trying to stick it with the AFC nods. Whoever else they got, because it's like, I don't know, the Ravens, the Steelers, like, I don't know. That doesn't feel really that strong either. The Colts and the Colts and the Patriots look like the strongest AFC team, and you're kind of like, well, I don't know. Do you trust them in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go? It's like, I'm going to trust Mahomes more, that's for sure. And, it's just a messy season right now, man. A messy season that the way how it's unfolding right now is just not at all how I predicted it. So getting that first round bye and getting home field advantage, but really more than anything, just that home field bye, the first round bye, to me is just, that is worth its weight in gold more than ever right now. The way how these games are unfolding. And so, the Rams take a big step to do that. And definitely having the Eagles slip up and now, they're a game back, losing to the Cowboys. Obviously hurt them significantly. Then now they got a game against the Bears. I think they play the Bears next, so that'll be interesting. And then I'm not sure who the Rams play. Yeah, then the Rams got the Panthers coming up, and I don't know who the Panthers are, man. They blow out the 49ers 55-0. I still don't know who the Panthers are. Like, again, you're gonna have trust in the Panthers right now. It's like they could win the division. They could beat out the Bucs right now. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm gonna like the Rams over that game for sure. Seahawks Vikings, like, so it seems like this should all still continue to be real close. You're going to like the Seahawks over the Vikings. You're going to like the Rams over the Panthers. So, everyone's just within one game. Eagles and the Bears, that'll be an interesting game. Again, you should like the Eagles over the Bears, but who the heck knows? It's Friday at, all these random times right now because you got Thursday and all that type of stuff. Thursday games, Friday games. Are there any games on Saturday? No games on Saturday. And so, yeah. This is I don't have many strong predictions right now about how this season's going to end, but I am confident it's going to be wild. That is that is all I could even remotely be confident with right now, is that it is going to be wild. And I just don't know how anyone can feel confident in any single prediction right now. And when it comes down to it, that's when you're just going to say, at least for me, the way how I view it is like, well, then who do I trust most? And that's why I kept saying, I'm not counting out the Chiefs. I'm not counting out the Chiefs because at the end of the day, it's like I trust Andy and Mahomes. And the second version of that is Stafford and McVay. And if anything, you could make the argument that right now, obviously not from a career perspective, but right now, in terms of quality of play, I'm going to trust Stafford and McVay over Andy and Mahomes. So, yeah, that has, when you trust your coach, when you trust your quarterback, when they've been there before, when they played the biggest moments, when it's 3rd and 12, and you're at your own 40, and there's a minute 45 left to go, and you're down by 8, it's like, who do you trust? Who do you have faith that they're going to be able to just give you life, get you something, right? Who do you have trust? You have to throw the ball. You're down by 5. You're pinned in the back of your own end zone, and you're just like, we got to throw. We can't run the ball. Like, we got to let it rip. Like, who are you trusting to make those plays right now? What coach are you trusting to dial up the right play, to come up with the right game plan? Shane Steichen was a mastermind against the Chiefs. And when he couldn't, Daniel Jones wasn't there to pick up the slack. I'm watching multiple touchdown passes, and I'm like, that is Shane Steichen right there, man. That is gorgeous. But when it wasn't there, it wasn't there. Mahomes missing throws for sure. Had a brutal interception. Kind of fluky, kind of not. Depends on how you want to look at it, but missed plenty of throws. But then in the fourth quarter and overtime, was making all the throws, right? And so Jalen Hurts is making all these plays against the Cowboys, but then they can't run the ball at all. And so you're like, okay. So, yeah, this is crazy right now. It really is. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see who officially comes away with the 1 seed, what it actually means for them. I think especially for the Rams, having the home field advantage really goes a long way for an older quarterback like Stafford, not having to play in any snow, rain, freezing cold, none of that type of stuff, getting to stay at home. I think that would benefit him for sure. And they're in a great position to do it, right? They're in a great position to do it. And yeah, man, I don't know. I think that's all I'll just kind of keep saying for over these next couple of weeks, are just like, this is all just so unpredictable to me. And at this point, any of these other types of games, it's like I learned nothing from the Seahawks playing the Titans, right? I learned nothing from that. I learned nothing from this game, the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's just like, at this point, it's just, how do the Rams look against the Seahawks? How do the Seahawks look against the Rams again in their rematch, right? Like that's going to matter. How do the Packers look against the Lions, not against the Vikings? How do the Lions look against the Packers, not against the Giants? How do the Eagles look against, I guess, the Bears, since they're the division winner right now, and they're competing for the 1 seed. Like, the Bears are legitimately, they're 8-3. They're legitimately competing for the 1 seed. Bonkers. That's crazy. They could have the 1 seed right now. Like, they could legitimately, they're in as just as good of a position as anyone else right now. So, the Bears could have home field advantage in the 1 seed. And it could be the Eagles and the Rams fighting over the 2 seed right now. I mean, like that is a legitimately like real possibility right now. Especially now with the Eagles and the Bears fighting to be over each other. One of them's got to win, obviously. So it's like one team's gonna have 9 wins. So I don't know, man. I want to know how you guys make sense of some of this stuff right now, because it's just been wild. I'll just say that for the 1,000th time. It's just been wild, but it's been awesome. I just wish we got a little bit more competitive games than this. But this was actually one of the least exciting games, ironically. I thought this would have given us a little bit more action here, but the Chiefs-Colts game was exciting. The Cowboys-Eagles game was exciting. The Lions and the Giants game was exciting. The Steelers and the Bears game was exciting. Technically, the Jaguars and the Cardinals game was exciting, but kind of for some wrong reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna post this here because it's getting late, and Monday is gonna be a day. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Los Angeles Rams taking down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Pretty sad showing, 34-7. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.